Hello everyone. I know I was doing the whole learn everything new every day thing, and I got there for about a week, but then I stopped learning shit, which kind of blew the whole concept. So you don't learn something new every day. That's part one. So sorry if I haven't done a video for ages and I'd only just started anyway, but I didn't learn anything, and so therefore I couldn't think of anything else to do. But as you know, we're in the middle of what they're calling a crisis, because there's a new strain of coronavirus knocking around, and that's fair enough. Okay, I can live with it. And on the side of this, because school's been kicked out, I'm off to pick up my son from school, and the roads are actually really bloody nice. It's really quiet out here. And naturally this is down to social distancing, and everyone's got to stay at home, and all the pubs and restaurants and everything else are shut, so no one's got anywhere to go. Apart from the lorries, of course, because lorries have got to be on the road to keep the shops shut. But it was just a really nice drive, so I thought I'd make a video, because it's a nice drive and I'm having a good day. I even got some pasta. Bloody shock horror, I've got pasta and bog roll in my house. Not much of it, but I've got enough to keep me going, and enough if I do keep going, so that's a bonus. But all these empty roads and the social distancing thing got me to thinking. It's all well and good worrying about the people who can't go down the pub because they're drinkers. Well, what about the swingers? Can swingers still swing? Would it be classed as a huge gathering? Or do they just have to wife swap? How far can the swingers go these days? I mean, is it classed as distancing if you're keeping each other at arm's length? Is it acceptable to just get a hand job from someone without getting too close? Can you go and do them doggy? Because if you're doing them doggy, at least if you cough on them, you're only going to cough on their back. Is that acceptable? It's questions that people need answering, folks. There's lots of people out there into this sort of thing, and they need to know. I mean, swingers probably aren't going to get much if they're just sticking to their own partner. That's the whole point. They like to get it about a bit. They like a bit of variety. You know, it'd be pretty dull if all you can get in the shops was bloody penne and that was the only pasta you could eat. I don't think my kids would be too bloody impressed with that. Just penne. Actually, saying that, my kids love pasta. They'd be impressed with bloody anything in a minute. The fact that I managed to get some, they're under a bloody element. They haven't had pasta for ages. So, yeah. The other slight problem, of course, the other problem group is the doggers. Because you're not supposed to go into public places. So public car parks are probably out. And will people be going out dogging? I mean, you don't know who's going to be out there. The next person you have a random shack up with could have coronavirus. They could have COVID-19. You don't know. It's a bit of a worrying time for them as well, isn't it? So when you're out there, you think of the poor doggers. I mean, again, there's a question of what is classed as social distancing. Can they watch you through a car window? If you're sat in the car, giving your missus one, in the back seat, all comfy and nice and secure, you got the windows closed. So therefore, you're not actually contacting anyone, are you? You're not with anyone, you're not touching anyone. Is it perfectly acceptable for someone on the outside to look in through the window and have a wank? I think that counts as distancing. They're not touching you, they're not getting any bodily fluids on you. Hopefully not in your car either, because I suspect that stuff's a bugger to get off. I don't really know, but having never done it, maybe that's something people could put in the comments and let me know. How easily does spunk clean off of the roof of a car paintwork? It's a public service to let us know that. Because if this is an acceptable way of doing things now, that you can go out dogging, providing you only shag your own partner in the car, or if it's just you can have a wank in the car, that's fine. So long as people on the outside aren't coming inside to join you, they can jack themselves off all they want. But if they accidentally wank and shoot all over your paintwork, will it come off easily? Can you just wipe it off with a baby wipe? This is things we need to know, people. Anyway, I hope you lot aren't really that bothered about the coronavirus. I'm not. I'm theoretically one of the high-risk groups, but it's no different to all the other coronaviruses we've had. And we've had a few. We had SARS, that was a coronavirus. We had MERS, that was a coronavirus. And we've had some pretty vicious flus as well. And to be fair, they're in the same ballpark, you know. H5N1, that was a good one. All these things come and go. We're taking this one a bit more seriously. I'm not quite sure why. You know, we didn't get a running total of how many people died with H5N1. So, but either way, it has made for interesting times. And us introverted antisocial bastards have been calling this out for fucking years. We've been practicing for this for donkey's years. We haven't gone out for ages, you know, we don't care. We don't want to go out. So the fact that we can't go out means, well, precisely jack shit. Can't go out. Okay. No, you don't understand. You're not allowed to go to the pub. Okay, that's fine. You see the thing here? It's not affected me at all, apart from the fact that it's been a bit more difficult to do some shopping. And even then, it's not been that much more difficult if you just use a little bit of brains. You know, you can get by without bread, providing you're keeping other stuff. You know, bread is not the only thing you can eat. Although we usually keep in some bread flour and some yeast anyway, because I like making my own bread. Although that's sold out now as well. That's weird. That's some of the weirdest stuff that's been fucking selling out. People have suddenly taken an interest in bread making. That's one of the bizarre things. And also, people have been buying the gluten-free pasta. I'm sorry, that stuff is there for those people who actually have celiac disease, who need something gluten-free because they can't have anything else. So give them a break, people, you know. They need that gluten-free shit. And just for the record, it tastes fucking awful anyway. So you probably don't really want to buy it. You're going to regret it. Those people who bought gluten-free pasta because they couldn't get any bloody Asda value stuff, what you've basically done is spent £2 on something that's going to sit in the back of your cupboard forever until you finally get sick of it and throw it in the bin, because you're never going to fucking eat it. No, toilet roll, at least it's got no sell-by date. It stays and lasts forever. That's fine, that's great. You can keep that fucking shit in the back of your cupboard for as long as you like. And eventually you're going to use it. I mean, I know people have worked it out. They've got enough shit paper in the house for about 2.5 years. Which is, yeah, we won't go into what sort of person does that. But hey, at least eventually after 2.5 years they're going to use that shit paper. Although there is a question over what shit paper they bought. And let's be honest here, if they bought the cheapy value stuff because that's all they could get to stockpile, they're probably never going to use that either, because that stuff is fucking nasty. You put your fucking finger through it, it's not good, you know. This is not how we need our shit paper. But that's their problem, not our problem, isn't it? At least the shops have turned around and said they're not going to take it back and they won't give you a refund on it. That's one big plus in my book, because the last thing we want these pricks to get is their money back. We want them to fucking suffer for being pricks. If someone's gone out there and spent £100 on toilet paper, we don't want them to have a little stockpile they can take back and get their money back like it was a fucking savings account. What we want is for those people to have wasted £100 on fucking shit roll. Personally, I think the easiest way to do it is to go to the office and have a shit in the office. That's assuming you're allowed into the office, of course. A lot of people have got to work from home. That's not going too well either, is it? A lot of people complaining and saying, well, I don't know if I can cope with the kids at home when I'm trying to work from home. And you got the other side saying, oh, these people just don't know how to parent properly. And they're kind of missing the point. The point is, you can do one thing or the other. It's fine. You can parent brilliantly on the weekend, and you can be number one parent. But in the week, you're at work. And if you're at work and you're working, you're actively participating in meetings, etc., it's very difficult to also try and teach your son how to add 3 and 7 to make a number bond to 10. You know, it's the two don't really mix. You know, it's you can see the meeting. Yes, sir, I do understand, sir. We need to no, that's 6 and 3. That doesn't make 10, does it? No, not you, sir. Sorry, boss. That's not quite what I was referring to when I was talking about the financial downswing of the company. It's not really gonna work. You can't carve that time out. And plus the fact of you're gonna have to let a bit of tech come into it to keep your kids quiet. Because again, you can't have a meeting and you're in a meeting, it's like yeah, well, I do understand the financial ramifications of that. No, get your own bloody drink. It doesn't come across good, does it? You know, it's not that we can't parent. It's that we can't parent and work at the same bloody time. That doesn't work out. And if you're not a frontline worker, but you've got to keep your job going, because people have said you can work from home, it's not as good as it looks, is it? It's not as lovely as it seems. Now, there are some people who are revelling in this work from home shit because they're out of the office, it's nice and quiet, they're not being distracted. In some cases, they've got a partner who doesn't work anyway, so the partner can look after the kids while they sit off in a nice quiet office and do their work. Oh, what a heavenly scene. And I imagine that's how some of these people think working from home is going. Guess what? It ain't like that for all of us. Now, don't get me wrong, my partner does not work, but then my kids are all autistic, so that's a different kettle of fish. And she does her best with them. But am I sat away from all of this in a nice quiet office? I am not. I'm sat on a laptop at the dining room table. I don't have a nice cushy desk set up to do my work with, and I'll be damned if I'm going to faff around on my desk to try and connect my work laptop to my desk, my keyboard and everything else. That's just not going to happen. And there's no room if I don't do that. So yeah, I'm sat at the dining room table with my laptop, and that's my work. So yeah, there you go. Working from home. Not all it's cracked up to be. Kids off school. Definitely not all it's cracked up to be. My daughter's devastated. I mean, A, she likes school, which is a good thing. In fact, all my kids like school because we brought them up to like learning and to love reading, so it's positive. But the other thing they're missing is they're missing their friends. They're not allowed to see their friends. My poor daughter is in pieces, not because she's missing school so much and she's missing the learning, because she does that at home anyway. She teaches my youngest his maths, but she hasn't been able to see her mates for a few days because my son coughed at school, so they all got pulled out. He's got tonsillitis. We know he's got tonsillitis with checks, and that's what he's got. But because he coughed, of course, school's kicked him out. Kind of doesn't matter now, the schools have kicked almost everybody out, but I do feel sorry for the kids who have got to stay in school. They've got a bit of a rough act. It's at least the school, well, certainly the schools in my area, turned around and said, if you've got to stay in school, you don't have to come in school uniform, because that would be seriously tight. I would also hope they're going to make a very relaxed attitude towards lessons, because let's face it, homeschooling when you're working from home is not going to be 6 hours of lessons. You're going to be lucky if it's a couple of hours of lessons while you've got the time. There's going to be a lot of playing in the garden, I would hope anyway. It's self-isolation, it's not isolating yourself from the bloody outside. If you've got a garden, let your kids play in the garden, please. The weather's quite nice at the minute. Kids need the exercise. Think of it as a PE lesson. They're not playing games, they're doing PE. So yeah, there'll be a bit of time playing in the garden, they'll be watching the telly, they'll be playing on games. Let them do it. Let the kids deal. Because kids are having a rough time here at the minute. So, yeah. Anyway, I've probably rambled enough and bored you all enough with my randomness of the day. I don't know why I started the video, and I didn't know where it was going when I started it, so I hope you found it amusing, assuming anyone's ever watched it. I don't know if anyone's ever watched any of my videos. You might not have watched any of them. This might be the first one you've come across. Either way, look after yourselves and each other. Bye.